We're here at Cornerstone Convergence EMEA, and I'm joined now in the studio by Richard Sharp, CEO of Team Rubicon, one of our foundation partners. So Richard, tell us a little bit about yourself and what your organisation does.
Yeah, so I'm lucky enough to lead the organisation Team Rubicon UK. As I said, a partner of the Cornerstone Foundations in the States and here in EMEA. And we essentially take the veteran community and we retrain them to be disaster responders, to try and accelerate aid efforts by creating a military approach, repurposing them, giving the community they lost, so to help them serve again. So
where in the world do you actually work, and how do you keep those employees engaged?
Well, they're not all employees. I mean, there's here in Team Rubicon UK, we're based in Vauxhall and down in Wiltshire, but 3,000 of our people are volunteers. So most of what we do is send volunteers abroad. We keep them busy with training, with deliberate operations, across the globe, everywhere. We're just operating in Southeast Asia right now, but we also do flood relief in Lancashire, Somerset level. So the full spectrum of operations. So
give us a flavour of what your greatest challenges are.
With us being an English charity and predominantly internationally focused in our delivery, fundraising will always be a challenge. UK aid is under pressure, and that's certainly felt in the third sector as well. But we're going into countries where we're not always welcome, and political access is a thing. Western NGOs have come under some fire recently for exploitation reasons, so we're having to hold the bar very high on our standards to get the access into these countries.
Sure, but on the flip side, I guess you've had some great successes. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, I mean, I really do feel incredibly fortunate to work for an organisation that exists only to help people. And we're out in Indonesia right now in the aftermath of the Sulawesi tsunami, which claimed, officially 2,000 lives, but we know it's more like 7,000 lives. And that was against all the odds. Do we get the team in there? The UN wasn't allowed in, the big NGOs weren't allowed in, and we managed, we're a small, tenacious organisation that got access in there and providing clean water now to 15,000 people on a daily basis, which so far in my tenure has been the greatest success.
Tell us a little bit about how the relationship began with the foundation.
Sure, so I think I mentioned earlier, we were formed in the United States, in LA, and Adam Miller, the CEO of Cornerstone, is the chairman of TR USA. And I think as they were starting out, a lot of assistance was provided to TR USA, which we're now lucky to bear fruit from as well. And our volunteer management system is all provided for free of charge by the Cornerstone Foundation. So here in the UK, it's 3,000 volunteers. In the States, it's 90,000 volunteers, all managed through Cornerstone software for free. Managing employees is one thing, but managing volunteers is a completely different ballgame. So, needing the efficiency, something that speeds up this process and makes it transparent is really important for us.
So can you elaborate a little bit on how Cornerstone Technology has made Team Rubicon more efficient?
Yeah, so we can't know all of our volunteers personally. We can't even know them all by name because there's so many, and they come in and out of the organisation, because once they're trained, they then disappear off into their normal lives while they come back. So we need a safe, secure repository for all of their information. So their skills, what levels of training they've done, what they're qualified to do, where they've deployed, when can they deploy again. Also their leave allowances from their civilian jobs. So all of this has been created by Cornerstone software roll call. And if you can imagine, if it wasn't for that, we'd be doing it on Excel spreadsheets, which would take time, it would cause data security problems and undoubtedly mistakes. So transformational having that software.
And I guess the efficiency savings in terms of time also play out in an emergency situation as well.
Yeah, I mean, without putting too fine a point on it, we're in the business of saving lives. We're in the business of saving lives in the immediate after effects of disaster, often 3, 4, 6,000 miles away. So the quicker we can get those teams onto planes and gone, the better. So minutes matter. And being able to go and look at our volunteer base, who's available and who's trained for what, to create the right teams, that really matters to us.
Okay, and finally, can you just tell us how you see the future of the relationship with Team Rubicon and the foundation playing out?
Well, I'd like to see us continue to build out on the roll call relationship. It's great to be invited here to speak and network amongst some of your clients, and I'd certainly love to do more of that here in the UK and start mirroring the US relationship more in the UK. This is our first part of the partnership. I'm looking forward to hopefully a long and fruitful one.
Excellent, Richard. Keep up the great work. It's fantastic to have you with us today, and hope you enjoy the event.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
Cheers.